Is that the right thing to say at the end? Have a good day?
Alex, didn't you threaten to bash your ex in with a brick? Something I would never do, because everything I do is above board and consensual. So maybe instead of commenting on me, you should probably work on yourself and start your 12 steps.
Heartwarming. The two worst people you know are fighting. Today we're going to be discussing some TikTok back and forth between two creators who I really despise. One I covered just 10 days ago, and surprisingly she's actually looking in the right in this situation. And the second I actually used to be a fan of, but he turned out to be a horrible person. Shocker, I know. If you don't know who ImAllexx is, he is a commentary YouTuber who had his peak around 5 to 7 years ago. He has many videos with over 1 million views, some reaching even over 4 million, and it was always the titles of "We need to stop Daniel Cohn" or "We need to stop Emma Chamberlain" or other stuff like that. Sorry, some of those names might give you a throwback if you were in commentary YouTube back in the day. Now, he was quite a big inspiration for me when I first started my channel because I used to love him. I've got merch of his in my back room that I need to burn because, as it turns out, he's a horrible person who I want nothing to do with. So he was one of the biggest commentary YouTubers in the UK YouTube space. He was friends with other massive creators such as LEMMiNO, ImAllexx, James Marriott and iNabber. But as it turned out, it would seem that no one really knew his true side because things would come out after his relationship with another creator called Alice has ended. Alex and Alice started dating in March 2023 after seeing each other for a few months. The relationship would end at some point over the next year, however, it would take just over a year from when they started dating for Alice to speak out about her experiences. Because in 2024, Alice would release an 82-page Google document detailing everything that Alex had done to her. For weeks before she had released this, she was posting and reposting videos on TikTok suggesting that an ex-partner had abused her. Of course, people immediately assumed that this was Alex that she was talking about. And she even started to like comments around this time suggesting that Alex was actually the abuser. And just a couple of days after the initial reposts, Alice would confirm in the comment sections of her own video that Alex was the abuser. I'm pretty sure this comment and the video would be taken down for whatever reasons, possibly because she didn't want to speak about it publicly yet, but she did also mention in this comment that she was getting the police involved. And when she did eventually speak out against Alex, like I said, she released a massive Google Doc with lots of evidence. It wasn't just text allegations because there were many screenshots, audio recordings, and even videos. All of the things that she had endured at the hands of Alex. And this was really a know you moment because just a few days before this was all revealed, he had actually posted a video saying that Jojo Siwa has a dark secret. So do you, buddy. And of course this went viral because a lot of people did know about Alex and a lot of people already hated him. But now even the ones who did like him were starting to turn on him for obvious reasons. Alice recalled that during even small arguments that they had during their relationship, Alex would turn on the camera during their call and start to scream at her. He even told her to harm herself at one point, even though he knew that she had a history of doing that to herself. In addition, he would send her multiple messages over the course of their argument, calling her things like and slimy. So overall, it was seeming like he was just a awful person. And during one of these arguments, he would even say this on call with her, which is very relevant to what we're going to be talking about today.
Generally because you're just fucking brain dead.
Yeah, I'm very brain dead, yeah.
Is that why you decided to go on the offensive instead of the maybe
offensive.
Okay. I don't know what to call what you did. It was weird. It's always weird. You always take the weird route. Just do the normal route, which is just do the normal route, but a normal girlfriend.
You're
would do
acting
go,
like
I
this is all
mean
just
it.
me, and that's something you really need to fix.
I'm gonna fucking bash your head against the wall with a brick if you don't shut the fuck up. Because this one, genuinely, this one, you this royally this.
Yeah. I don't really know what to say either. So when this video came out, the internet went absolutely wild. The fact that someone could even say this, never mind to their own partner, was baffling. I don't know about you, but I don't go around telling people I'm gonna smash their head in with a brick. Well, maybe bouncers when they reject me from clubs, but that's not relevant. And it's deserved. And this certainly isn't the only thing he said, but you've probably heard it all before, so I'm not gonna bother going over it all. But he made an apology. Well, an apology. And a lot of the time throughout this situation, he was still trying to shift the blame. At one point during a private conversation with Alice, he even said that if she was to ever call him out, he would do that. He would release a video and shift the blame to her. And it was crazy how many people actually did try to shift the blame to Alice during this whole situation. Because she said some slurs and other stuff like that, right? But I don't think the problem in an abusive relationship is if you say a slur or two. I think it's more about your partner threatening to basically kill you. If that's controversial, then I don't even care, because the truth is, she was abused, okay? Let's not try and turn attention away from the actual abuser. When people are in those types of situations as well, they may not be able to think rationally, and their head might just not be in the right place. But this is Alex's main channel, and as you can see, the views he was getting before he was exposed were actually quite good. He was averaging about between 100k to 500k, which is a decent amount, and certainly made him enough money to live comfortably. And if we skip forward to his second channel, which, believe it or not, he's still uploading on to this day without much abuse in his comment sections either, he is averaging about the same views as me. So what I'm trying to say is, he fell off big time, for all the right reasons. If there's anyone we deserve to deplatform, it's a man like this. And to be honest, it's disturbing that he's still even getting these amount of views. But sadly, trying to come back to the platform is what a lot of creators do. We've seen this stuff with like James Charles, where there are quite a few allegations against him, and yet he continues to do his regular content. And not only does he do his regular content, but he still has a massive fan base. Same with people like Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star. And you'll notice that one of the videos on his second channel, which he's still uploading to, is about someone who I covered recently, Bonnie Blue. If you want a full rundown, you can watch that, because I'm not just going to repeat myself, but I'll give you a short idea. Bonnie is an OnlyFans content creator from the UK, and she has gotten a lot of controversy because she has an obsession with barely legal girls and boys. She's even ran events where she's travelled to different countries in order to sleep with, in her words, barely legals. She's faked being pregnant, described herself as a walking sex education lesson, and actually recently got banned from OnlyFans for her latest stunt. And speaking of her stunts, you might recognise her from being the person who slept with over 1,000 men in just 12 hours. And the stunt that got her banned was that she was going to put herself naked in a glass box and let people have their way with her. It's disturbing, right? But Alex didn't stop at just that video that he made, because he also posted a TikTok basically going on the offensive against Bonnie Blue. And let me tell you, she hit back.
Is that the right thing to say at the end? Have a good day.
Alex, didn't you threaten to bash your ex in with a brick? Something I would never do, because everything I do is above board and consensual. So maybe instead of commenting on me, you should probably work on yourself and start your 12 steps.
Yeah. How bad do you actually have to be for Bonnie Blue, of all people, to actually have the higher moral ground against you? She takes L after L, but this is like a once-in-a-lifetime W from Bonnie Blue. And listen, what was he even thinking in the first place by trying to call out Bonnie Blue? Listen, I do think that we should talk about Bonnie Blue, like I said in my last video, and like I will repeat here. But when you've already been proven and caught on video abusing your ex, don't walk into internet drama. And this is what happens when you continue to give abusers a platform. It seems like it's genuinely in his nature to be a bad person. The whole situation with Alice wasn't the first thing that he got himself involved with, because a few years prior he had participated in spreading false allegations against another creator. He was called out for this, but it didn't seem to matter to him, and he genuinely just swept it under the rug. And I believe that if the whole situation with Alice wasn't as public, he would have tried to do the exact same thing. He's a man who'll say whatever to get him popular on the internet, and this is exactly what he's doing doing again in this situation? He's going after Bonnie because she is a relevant figure right now and he needs his internet clout back. Because let's be real, being a YouTuber is quite an easy job. It's difficult when you get started, right? But once you get to the level that he was at and was at for years, it becomes a breeze pretty much. Obviously, there are still challenges with it and it's never as easy as people say. But it's much easier than doing something like 9 to 5, 7 days a week jobs. There was absolutely no doubt in my mind that he wants to get back to that level, and I really hope that we can all come together to make that completely impossible. But the thing is, I genuinely think that we have a very concerning problem on the internet. Because even looking through the comments on Bonnie Blue's video, it's clear that a lot of people, just regular people, are siding with him. And a lot of them are women. When we've gotten to the point where women aren't supporting other women, despite there being clear evidence against their abuser, then we really need to rethink. We've got this person who I will censor the username of saying all the abuse came from Alex's girlfriend. That's just not true, is it? I genuinely think that some of these people just don't read or don't know how to read. Even Alice herself has started to take the piss out of this man, rightly so, because Alice posted to her TikTok saying, Bonnie Blue just called out my ex and I'm dying. You know what, as you should be, girl, you really deserve this moment for everything you've been through. Guys, this is totally my bad, but I was just looking on TikTok to see his video and I still follow him, just public proof right now. There we go. I really apologise for that. This is your reminder to go check your following to make sure you're not following any outed abusers. But listen, it is good to see that he has kind of fallen off on TikTok, because the video that he posted, which Bonnie Blue then... I don't actually use TikTok much, so I don't know the word, but the one that she added onto her video, it has over 400,000 views and only 3,000 likes. Now, usually on TikTok, you would have a lot more likes for that amount of views, so hey, I'm delighted. But yeah, like I said, I really think this highlights a much bigger issue with the internet, because abusers, whether we like to admit it or not, they can just get away with it. There are so many people out there who have done genuinely bad things in the past and they just come back. And especially when an abuser comes back, it really makes it feel as though some women might not be able to speak out. Imagine that you're dating a content creator and they abused you. That would be absolutely horrible, and you would be living with that trauma for the rest of your life. But if you see people on the internet just letting these people go back to what they were doing, then that could encourage you not to speak out. I genuinely believe that we're entering another age where women are going to find it more difficult to speak out against people. A few years ago, we wouldn't even think that was possible because times were changing for the better and people were speaking out with their story. But now, with how toxic the internet is getting, and to be honest, how horrible social media platforms are becoming, that's just not the case anymore, and women are once again being forced into staying silent. So listen, if you're watching this and you have a story about someone, this is your urge to speak out. It may be hard, and if you're not ready, that's fine, but if you are ready and you just need some encouragement, then please, your story matters, your experience matters, and don't let the toxicity of the internet put you away from that. But yeah, thank you all so much for making it to the end of this video. I really appreciate you. Like, subscribe, share the video, do all of that good stuff. Let me know in the comments what you think of the two worst people that I know fighting. And just a massive thank you guys for all the support on my Radcore video. I'm hard at work on another documentary and I'll be looking for interviews soon, so keep an eye out on the community tab. Don't forget to check me out on social media. I have Instagram and Blue Sky, and also join my Discord server to get involved with the discussion. Thank you so much to my Patreon supporters and YouTube members: Brooke, Entrepreneur, K4 Silver, Maury Gann, Alex Rod, Basefinger, Carmilla, Tango Slime, Shoshka, Sam, Frozen Roses, Midnight Kitty, Willow, Colette Tiki, Moonbird, and Fron. Thank you so much for your continued support, guys. I love you all. I'll be back very soon with another video, but if you want another right now, then YouTube thinks that you'll like the video that's on your screen.